There's an interesting thing about gender and girls. Girls are more gender non-conforming than boys. That's a general pattern. And the reason is that gender conforming behaviour for girls is so highly restrictive. So if you list these things, it's, likes makeup, likes pretty clothes, likes ballet, doesn't like rough and tumble. It's absolutely tedious. Like to be a really gender conforming girl is to restrict yourself to a tiny part of all the things that children like. So girls are much more gender non-conforming in general than boys are because the gender roles are so yickily tight.
The constraints are tighter.
Or the description is tighter. Funnily enough, we punish gender non-conforming behaviour by boys more than by girls.
Yeah.
So it's quite complex. So the way that boys are described is, being leaders, wanting to take charge. Like, that's actually quite human. Most people want to do that. If you ever watch children play, they're all trying to boss it around. It's a big part of your learning when you're little is that you have to play with other people. What I'm saying is that if you list the stereotypical behaviours of boys and girls, the girls' ones are much more tedious and much more constraining. So there's an artifactual reason that girls look like they're gender non-conforming. Whereas the boys' ones, a lot of them are quite attractive and most children want them. So it's harder to be a gender non-conforming boy according to the list. However, a little boy who is gender non-conforming, who prances around the place and wants to put on his mum's lipstick and, says he wants to play the harp and doesn't like rugby and cries a lot and plays with dolls, that little boy can be quite badly punished, and in particular by their father a lot of the time, compared to the little rough and tumble girl who says she likes climbing trees and playing rugby, and that people go, oh, she's a tomboy. Like, you can hear the difference. Like, compare the words sissy and tomboy. Like, one of them, it's the most horrible thing to call a little boy, whereas tomboy, oh, she's a tomboy, Anyway, so that was a long way of saying it's much harder to get the answer for gender non-conforming behaviour for girls, because girls are more gender non-conforming because the list is so shit. But if you think of really genuinely super gender non-conforming little girls, the little girls who express contempt for everything to do with girls, the little girls who, like, I have a lot of brothers. I'm the eldest of a very large family. And I can tell you all my brothers played with dolls, but what they did with them is they pulled their legs off and hit things with them and pretended they were guns. So if you're a little girl like that, she's quite likely to grow up lesbian, yes. Much more likely than your average girl.